All right, so I am attempting the painting of a cat today. Not only today, I have decided to call this the cat of the month in my head, so I'm gonna try to stream as often as possible, and all of the time I'm gonna attempt cats of different sorts, but without any kind of interest in having to be perfect or realistic. Like I always say, just trying to enjoy as I paint, and I'm hoping that other people can watch this and enjoy it too, or paint along. One of the goals I have for this month is to be able to maybe share one of these videos in YouTube, and maybe I'll be able to share it with people who also purchase some of my prints, so that they can get that experience of not only getting that beautiful print, but also the how, or just the paint along, I guess, or if they want to attempt it, they can too. So I'm not sure which one of the paintings is going to end up being that one. It could be this one. I don't think so. It seems like a very difficult one. I'll try one that it seems easier, or just, you know, a little bit more simple. So that's the idea, but again, I am always flexible, so at times this is how we start, and who knows how we end up. Last week I was doing cat blobs, and it ended up being really fun, and a lot of good things turned out of those blobs. So let's see if today turns out the same. I'll try to be streaming for about an hour, maybe a little bit more, but hopefully I can just do this more often instead of just one long stream. Yeah, so if you're here, thank you, and let me know what you think of this follow along. As you can see here, I have added the reference photo. It's hard to see. I don't think you can see in the camera some of the pencil markings I've added. This is just for just a small reference, since, you know, I'm not really trying to attempt any kind of resemblance really, or perfectionistic style, but I thought maybe it could be fun to start with something so up close, right? So in your face, quite literally, right? And so that's why I really like this. The reference photo is from a photographer called Leonardo Pasquale, and I got the photo on Unsplash, since it's free to use. So I will give my kudos to Leonardo wherever I share it, so he can see that I'm putting it to good use. So let's see, I'm gonna open myself the image just so that I have it a little bit bigger, since this is gonna be a tough one, but I want to keep Streamlabs open so I can see the chat. Alright, so I'm gonna be, I have a pencil ready, but I'm not sure that I'm gonna be using it. Like you saw now, I'm just adding a little bit of detail there. I'm gonna be attempting to use only a couple of brushes, so that, hey Kali, it's so good to see you, so that maybe it's easier just to follow along. So I'm using size 6 and a size 8. But sometimes I really get bored with going so small, and so I always have a 12 in handy. If you're like me, you may want to do that, just because it's, I don't know, quicker and a little bit more of that loose sense. And I'm using my Holbein paints that I have in a hot pan. Not sure how the colors are gonna turn out. Maybe I'm gonna go a little bit different than the reference photo. I'm not sure yet. Alright, so I'm gonna get started in a moment. One of the things that I'm gonna be attempting today is just to go in without much kind of drying time. This is not ideal, but of course for a stream it would be quite difficult to do this, let it dry and all of that, so we'll see. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. Let's start with the eyes. And the eyes, I thought about using some masking fluid. I kind of changed my mind last minute. It seemed like again, it was gonna take a long time to dry. Hi Nundral. It's nice to talk to you. Usually masking fluid, and I have it here. This is Winsor & Newton one. They work really well if there's any areas that need to stay really bright. So in this case, I could have used it in this light of the eye that you can see the kind of bright areas. Even on some of like little dots in the nose, there's so much detail there. Or even in some of the hair or whiskers. But because I'm not doing that, let's just see yeah, what happens. Okay, so it's quite wet. I didn't want it too damp. I already wet my palette some other times. You've seen me use this just water spray bottle, and let's go in. So tinting kind of like an ochre, I would say. It's like an ochre green. So that's what I'll do. Maybe more of a yellow than ochre. Let's see. And I cannot show it. I'm mixing my colors right here. Okay. Alright, I think that's not too like that color. I will go brighter and brighter, or more darker and darker, I should have said, as I add more of these layers. Note that it's also part of the painting that I don't see, since this photo was taken so up close. So I'm just making it up. Like this area, for example. Although we assume that there's light coming from above, and we are seeing this cat's snout from down below, so I think I'm gonna do darker areas up here, since it's kind of like the lid is covering those. Alright, let's see, let's add some more basic areas. I'm gonna do the basis of that snout. I have a vermilion. I think should be okay for this. And I'm using my number 6. As it goes a little bit up, it seems like it's turning more orangey, so I'm gonna try. Last time I ended up doing some of the cats just in very fantastical colors, no realistic, not realistic at all. And who knows, I may end up doing that today too, because it's just more fun. to paint more of the fur. I'm just afraid it's gonna mud everything up. Let's just be brave, right? I'm using the bigger 12 already. Like I was saying, I got really tired of painting small. Alright, so I'm really attempting to go in blocks, not kind of painting what my brain says, but more of what I'm really seeing in the photograph. More to get an idea, not that there's anything wrong. I'm adding some brown here, even though I know it's gonna be darker. And cats always have this kind of area, very dark, and I'm hoping that this month I'm gonna really attempt to paint one of my cats. It's something I've wanted to do, but I am too fearful. I have a photo reference ready just in case I braid it. Okay, I think the rest of it is even more ochre. Let's see this. Last time I have my camera so close, it's a little bit difficult to paint. Oh. Okay. This cat has such pretty colors, but I'm afraid I'm not gonna do it justice. I'm gonna go darker now. For that I am truly gonna go with the smallest. Yeah, maybe the smallest one, the 6. And remembering to take breaks for a cup of tea. Since in most streams I have one, I forget to drink it, so alright, let's go. I think I can go black. I'm gonna add a little bit of umber, well, burnt umber color that I think goes well with the black and this cat's color. Hopefully this will give it more of a sense, more of a perspective. I don't have a very good set of brushes, and you can tell because they are already shedding some hairs. All of these good materials are expensive, and I haven't been able to get some good ones yet. I love this because it literally looks like the the attempt at a cat eye, right, that we usually do, the makeup cat eye, right? And they have it quite natural. The reason for this month being cat month was two-folded, I guess. One, I had an art fair this past weekend that I attended. I had a booth there, and I noticed most people were interested in my cat paintings. Most of what I sold was cat related. And so I'm honoring that by painting more, and it's not like I don't like it, so it's a win-win. And as the title of the stream suggested, I wanted to also honor the absolute gaming and internet craze that's been going on with the new video game Stray, which I got but I haven't played yet. Sorry, so no spoilers please. I'm hoping I will like it. Alright, I have some of those. I'm gonna go into the other dark areas that I can see, so a little bit here, and then I'll come back. My nose is really dark. I think it has to go darker than that. I want to be more subtle in this area because it's more of a mix. I will blend it in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that I marked some of the darkest areas. So I think that it was a good choice to start with the close-up, since it absolutely forces you to not think about this being anything other than just shapes, and you can really look close and not think about this being a cat at all, which I think helps a lot with that really stuck mindset. And you're really just trying to paint a cat and your left brain is really forcing you to it, right? Right, let's see how I do this, because I want to make sure that it's really black, but it allows for some transparency. Okay. adding maybe too much water. Okay, maybe. Whew. Right, now I'm gonna go a little bit darker into these areas. So this is the trick and maybe most difficult thing with watercolor, that you have to keep adding layers, having patience, and just trusting that it will look like something at the end. I've done all of the darkest areas. Okay. I'm not gonna do very realistic kind of hair by hair. I'm gonna try just more of a loose, abstract-y kind of thing. Let's go back to a larger brush. I'm gonna try some of the other here. Alright, so we left it at some ochre, brown, and use the burnt umber for the darkest areas. Maybe the burnt umber with the ochre will work. This is too dark. So I'm gonna give it more ochre, but it's perfect for these areas. So okay, let's go more ochre. I think not only the hue was different, I also needed to go lighter. So instead of obsessing over painting the hair strands, I'm just kind of, with the direction that I'm taking, suggesting that hair, and maybe that's a really good word, right? Suggesting. It's not, I'm not trying to do it perfectly, I'm not trying to trick the eye in any way, right? Everybody knows this is a painting, that there's nothing else I'm trying to do, but still, I think it still has that feel. Try to see how I'll do the wider area. Maybe I can just some of the ochre to give the sense of what's behind. Alright. Yeah, it's looking good, looking good. Let's add a little bit darker zones here. I wonder if maybe even just like a dry brush with a little bit of So what I did here is just what I said, just a dry brush, so it has no water or very little. I used just a little bit of paint from that mix that I had before, the black and burnt umber mixed up, and then kind of drying it even more. Just gives you a little bit of that roughness that creates just some strokes. It's barely visible, but it still gives that movement feel. I'm not gonna go over that. I think I like it that way. Alright, I'll go back to the eyes now. Always scary. I think the eye slits have not dried yet, so this is always risky. Alright, moving the cat around. I'm going top to bottom, like I said earlier, just because we assume that it's a little darker there because of the eyelid. Even though their eyelids are not like ours, they still have some of that space. And then instead of adding more color, I'm just gonna smooth this along. This. Still want that to be fairly light and white, but not completely, right? It would look a little weird if it's only like a patch of light, so it's not exactly how it works. Okay, and I'll do some of that dark hair. need to get into that slit. Hi, good of food, got a food, sorry. Just a self-reminder to have a little of tea. I hope you're having a good day. What am I making? Well, I am attempting a cat, very up close, and I barely got started with some of the details, but I added most of the main blotches of color, and now attempting some of the scariest stuff, so the eyes, and hoping I don't mess them up. But I was saying before that I am doing cat month and attempting to paint cats for the whole month in honor of a little bit of a cat obsession. Okay. That's looking nice, quite nice. It's hot, too hot. Yeah, where are you? It's not too bad here, but I've heard it's pretty much horrible the rest of the world. I'm gonna go back to the snout. So you see the snout I started with earlier, it seemed like that pinkish color was really strong, and it's barely visible now. So it's always good to go darker than you think. Almost like until it's ridiculously dark, and it will always soften. Ohio, okay, yeah. I think I read that it's pretty much the whole country that it's just very high weather, high temperature weather. I'll go back to just moving it a little bit along, because I still want to keep that orange on the top. But hey, if you attempt this, please do whatever you feel like doing. I know that seems hard in the beginning, but there's really no rules. Not a lot of rules anyway that you should follow. There has to be some, but like use water. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit darker here, so just mixing that umber. Okay. There you go. Okay, yeah. Not sure if I'm gonna do those white dots. This is a random cat. This is a cat I found from a photographer called Leonardo Pasquale. It's free to use, so I like to use photos like this for reference. But I did say I'm gonna attempt my real cat one of these days. Just don't feel brave enough. Alright, I think I need to go now into the darkest areas on top and do kind of the same of that mixing. right, and I'll go back to that brown with the sienna. I think it's what I was using before. Let's pause and see where are we at. I feel like today is much more of a chill painting day. I like that. I'm gonna go into some. I'll leave the details for in a moment. I'm gonna go back to the eyes and make sure those are feeling all right. A little bit more yellow. Cat eyes are so fantastic, so beautiful. So this area, even though we don't get to see it really well, it's almost like you don't know exactly where the eyeball finishes and when the eyelid starts. And I think mine are still too crisp. But I don't want to muddy it up. So trying to stay in equilibrium with those two ideas. Alright, I think that's good. Okay. Go a little bit finer into those details with more black. Oh, thanks for the follow. Since it's cat month, let me know if you have any ideas for more cat paintings. Whew, this is the part where I forget to breathe. It's just so hard, I don't want to mess it up. I think it's looking nice. Okay. Now going a little bit lighter but still dark or grayish. This cat has that kind of makeup eyeline, right? Like an eyeliner Not all of them have, I think. So not too dark, because I don't want it to just catch more of your eye than needed. But at least enough. I don't know if it's visible, but I added some tiny dots, because I think this photo has so much detail that I cannot add a little bit of that. Maybe I can do the same with the pinkish color. Okay. How about some white? Let's see if that will work. White in watercolor is, I feel, not really, like, it causes a lot of disagreements, I guess. I heard it all. I heard it from, you know, it's not really quite a color, you shouldn't use it, to use another kind of material, right, like wash or just even a marker if you want to, but I don't know. Many of these sets have white, so it must be something. I'm not gonna add a lot though, because I don't want it to look like it has pimples. And put it here. Just like I said, I could have left this white or used masking fluid, but I think this was more realistic for a stream, since it doesn't have to dry. Wow, okay. How about some of that? I'll do the same with the white than I did with some of the other hairs, and try to do some dry brushing. Let's see. Let's start with a clean and dry brush. Let's see. Okay, you can barely see it, but it still has that same texture. Maybe if I add to the other areas. Oh god, let me not mess it up. Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to see if there's any areas that already had some white in. It's too wet. Okay. Whew. What do you think? I'm happy with it. Let me pause for a moment and see if it needs anything, but I'll leave it at this. Maybe it needs a little bit of like a darker area just under the snout. Kind of hints at a mouth, but we don't even need to go there. Adding just whatever I see, but like I said earlier, this is just personal. Each person can just see this pretty differently. I'm not too happy with so much white in this area, so I'm trying to remedy it, but it's okay. Alright. Okay, I think this is it. So let me just recap a little bit. I started with the drawing already done, which this can be supplied and just to trace. It shouldn't be too difficult. You can do it on top of maybe your screen, or with a printed copy on a window, something like that. I know from a painter that I follow a lot, Ainhoa.Creates, she always says that not drawing should not stop you from not enjoying how to paint, and not just painting, right? Like really having fun with that, and I truly believe that. So until we get our drawing skills better, right, do whatever you need. And this one's definitely one of them. You can have a lot of fun painting without having to draw. So you can start with just a tracing of some of the basic shapes. I only had the eyes and the snout and some of the areas just to get a little bit to the dark and lights. And I used 12, an 8 and a 6 brush. And as for the colors, I used ochre for a lot of the fur, mixed a little bit with sienna. So I have a burnt sienna that for the darkest areas worked really well. You can see that kind of like here and here, but even just another kind of brown would work out. I used yellow and ochre with a green, a light yellow and an ochre yellow with a green to paint the eyes. I think I could have gone a little bit more yellow, since cat eyes can be just like a truly varied in how they show that yellowish or greenish. So go with your instinct there. I used vermilion, very light, a value of a vermilion to do the snout. Hey Mocap, thank you. And then a black and a burnt umber for all of the dark areas. So I think none of this is only black. I mixed it with the burnt umber in all of the areas that I painted, with a lot more black for the eye slits and some of this upper lid area, but still mixed. So really you could do this with not more than 4 colors and still get the same feeling. You could choose to go unrealistic and do it with purples, blues. That would be really fun. If anybody does that, please share that with me because I would love to see it. Or it could be fun maybe as part of the cat month, I'll do this again, but with those unrealistic colors, because I would love to see that. So yeah, I hope that as you watch this, you feel empowered to try your own. Again, I want to thank the photographer Leonardo Pasquale, who took this picture and put it up for people to use for free. And I think I'll upload this later on to YouTube so that I can link it and more people can watch it. And I will show a better quality photograph like always on my Instagram, since I think with the stream you lose a little bit of the quality, but you get the idea more or less. Yeah, so this looks like a very cute thing that I would love to have on my wall. Frame it and just have this cat looking at me every day. So thank you for watching, for saying hi, and like I was saying, I'm gonna really try to stream a lot more. I am gonna be trying daily, but I cannot really assure anything, so this is around the time that works best for me, and hopefully I can paint along with all of you on a daily basis with this cat month, or month of the cat, however we want to call it. So thanks again, thanks Good Food, thanks Mocap, it was nice. Oh, Non-Neural, Callie, everyone that showed up, said hi. Hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day and